The most improbable of all the entrants in these championships. She was the world champion at the age of 16, but when the door was opened to professionals last spring, she was the only American woman to pursue reinstatement. But her reasons for doing so had little to do with the Olympic Games.
I think one of the reasons why I came back was to prove to myself that I could skate again. I think that I lost interest in the sport about 4 years ago. Professional life was miserable. I hated the way I felt on the ice. My weight wasn't where I wanted it to be. I think it was an emotional thing. I was just getting off of being in the Olympics and being the star, and then everything just went downhill from there. All I wanted to do was come back and compete as an amateur, and I think that whatever I decide, to do from here on in, my reason for coming back was to compete again at the Nationals and look better than I did 10 years ago.
So Elaine Zayak competing in the senior division at the Nationals for the first time since 1980, 6 months before our next competitor, Michelle Kwan, was even born.
In fact, she and Katarina Witt are the only two women who have asked for reinstatement.
This woman was responsible for starting the triple jump race in women's figure skating. Today, she feels differently that there's too much emphasis placed on these jumps. This is where she's improved so much, is the layback spin, holding her moves out, more of the whole program. Now coming up is her combination, her triple loop, double toe loop.
Good.
Very nice.
Good for her.
And remember, the technical program you're watching counts for 1/3 of the total score.
Her decision to come back was a personal one that only went month by month. She saw how she skated each month and then made the decision only to go for one more month. And how nice that she's getting this kind of an ovation.
Beautiful extension on this spiral. Precise moves, nice position.
Very controlled.
And her final jump is a double axel. For the preparation, the back edge, right there, and stepping forward. Very clean program. The audience is really with her. She's very proud of herself. Good for her.
Well, what they're standing for is not only a great performance, but for being an icon in the sport, for changing it, for making it different.
What an accomplishment for Elaine Zayak. She told us she came back to prove to herself that she could skate again, not to make the Olympic team. She's doing this for Elaine.
Oh, that has to be so gratifying.
Her coach, Peter Rose, he has coached her from the beginning of her career, and we will be back with her marks right after. A moment here in Detroit, former world champion Elaine Zayak waiting for her scores.
Well, her combination was really quite wonderful. This, first of all, triple loop and a double toe loop. And frankly, that's, I think, in my book, somewhat more difficult than some of the others, although the ratings are relatively similar. this double axel. Now look at the lift first, the tight legs, and the nice landing, and the expression on the face. Doesn't that make it just perfect for you? And Mary Lynn Gelderman and Peter Burrows just having a delightful moment. I think everybody's so happy because she is so nice and so well liked.
Well, very deserving. They just don't make them like they used to, you know?
I know, Becky, I know.
Zayak for required elements. 5.4.
And the mark for required elements range from a low of 5.0 to a high of 5.6.
Now, there must have been some reason for that 5.0, and I don't know what it is.
And 5.2.
Oh, unless they are giving her less value for a triple loop than a triple flip or a triple lutz. But frankly, I think that's just as hard as the others because it does not have the advantage of coming off a toe.
I agree.
And her marks for presentation. 5.6.
And the marks for presentation put her into third place for the moment.
Well. Isn't that interesting?
5.5. 5.4.
And here's the reaction at the end of her performance.
I love it. Oh, what a nice moment for what a very nice person.